y'all, this is Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wings, and I have another little project for us today. This is a little tag set of tags actually that I made for my forest journal, and I thought this was just so freaking cute that I decided I would do a little video and show you how I did this. So that's what we're going to make today. But because this little contraption took me a while to figure out, I went ahead and cut out all of the pieces. Partly that, and partly I used this big honking thing here, and I don't even know, let's see, Marvy Uchida is who makes it, and it's the great big 3-inch scalloped punch, and I needed to cut 7, 8, and I'm gonna have to cut 9. I didn't think my hand could do it on camera. I just did not think I could go that long. I have to use this thing kind of in little spurts because it just kills my arthritic hands. So I'm going to cut one to show you how I did it, but I went ahead and did all of the others and went ahead and inked them so it wouldn't take us quite as much time. So this will be my back. It's just a piece of plain black cardstock, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. And then we're going to do a little front cover, and I'm going to put this butterfly on the front. And this is just a piece of 65-pound weight cardstock. No big deal. I get it at Walmart. It's real cheap, like $5 and something for 250 sheets. And I go through, I should have taken out stock in the cardstock company. Because I go through this a lot. But anyway, that's what I have. And I'm going to show you how I did this. So this one, I didn't have to do much because what I used was the packaging from the butterflies that they came in. It had a picture. This is not actually a butterfly. It's a, well, I mean, it is a picture of a butterfly, but it's a picture. It is not a sticker. And it came with the packaging, and I thought, well, might as well use that up too, so I did that. But I only had one packaging, so now we have to use a sticker. So, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to put a sticker on here, and we're going to cut it out and go to town. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little corner here, and I'm going to put this little sticker just on here. So I am going to surely pull this off, and I'm going to give myself plenty of room on all sides to be able to cut. Okay, but I want this down really good, so I'm going to put it on here like this, and then I'm going to get this beast, and we're going to put it in here. And I'm going to, you'll have to just kind of watch. I am going to, I'm going to cut off just a little bit of the bottom. I could have scooted up a little bit, didn't realize that. But I want the butterfly wings to be in there if I can get them in there. And that is going to work perfectly, just right there. Right there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and we're going to take this and squeeze like the dickens. Whew. And we got it. Okay, and we don't throw away the paper. We save it. There's lots of things we can do with that paper, but this little thing is really, really hard to use. So, all right, now we have this. Now, before I get started on it, I have the backing that I've put on it, and I also use the same backing on this. A different piece, but the same backing. And I am going to figure out right like this little nubbin is our top, and I'm going to put it right there. Okay, and I think that, well, let's do it this way. Let's see. Nope. It's gonna need to go. It is not going to totally and precisely line up. So there we go. All right, let's try it from this direction and see if we get a better center. Well, that works pretty good. Now, let's go over one more. That actually looks pretty good, pretty centered. So I think we'll do it that way. Okay, so I'm gonna lift this up, and I'm gonna put glue on the bottom of this so I don't get it all messed up. Get it around here as best I can. Okay, and then we're going to just lay that right back down, right on top of each other. All right, and line up our scallops. And that is going to work. That is going to be perfect. And then I'm going to flip this over and do this bottom side. Okay, we'll get some glue on here and get this down. I'm not going to sew around this or anything, but need to make sure. The good thing about using Fabri-Tac, it does give you just a second, but it does give you just a little bit of time to kind of wiggle. So, all right, so we have that done. And this one, I don't know if y'all have watched many of my videos, but this one was made to go more in the center of the journal. And when I started the journal, I want the beginning of it to be primarily greens and even some yellows and some little colors and some things in there that you might see in the forest, some little flowers and things like that, birds. But as you delve further into the forest becomes darker and darker and darker. So this one will go in the center. There's 4 signatures in it, and so this will go in either signature 2 or 3. Probably 2 because it has a lot more green, just beginning to get into some black stuff. And then I'll make another one at some point and maybe totally do it in black, and that will go in the last one. But this one is going to go in the beginning one, the very first one. So things are still green, and we're going to do green. Now I'm doing a black back, but that's just for continuity, not for anything specific. So I'm only using green. This is Forest Moss Distress Ink, and I'm only using the green on this one because I don't want the forest to be too terribly dark yet. And I'm gonna, because this is a sticker, I'm gonna kind of go around here so we can kind of get the outlines of everything a little better. And we're just gonna ink around. It really makes that butterfly stand out a little bit better. Got a little bit of glue on the edge of it there, so, and once that glue hits on there, it doesn't do too well on my cardstock, but that's okay. It makes it have character. So, and then on the back, we're just going to go around the edges just to kind of dull that white ever so slightly a little bit. And just ink that up a little bit, make it look a little prettier, a little nice. And there we go. So kind of done with the ink for a while. Now then, we're going to take our top card. We're going to, now the cards that I use, the cardstock that I used is sort of a linen, so it has a little pattern. You can hear it. Kind of has a little bit of a texture to it. So I want to kind of make sure that all of the textures are going at least close to the same direction. Just so, because I think it may have an impact on writing when we get ready to, let's take the glasses off. When we get ready to journal, I think, because it'll make a nice textured spot to write on. So I just want to make sure, and I tried as best I could when I punched them out to get them all going in the right direction, but I just need to make sure they're still going in the right direction. Get this one. And make sure all of our petals are matched up, or at least as best we can. We're going to put the black one on the back. It doesn't have any pattern to it, so it doesn't matter which nubbins you match up here. And then we're going to take our top one and try as best we can to get it in here with our other little scallops and make them all even. And then I have over here somewhere, I have a couple of these little things. And I'm going to put these on here just to keep them from moving around. That's the only purpose. Okay, now they're pretty even, pretty close enough for me anyway. And I'm gonna get my little, this thingy, my bob. Never can remember what this thing is called, but it punches holes and it puts in these little nubbin things, these little things. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to try as best we can to see where our center is. I think it's going to be about right here where this little white spot is. So I'm just going to make a little pencil mark there. And we're going to punch a hole. Through all of them at the same time. Okay, there we go. Whew, almost got too close to the edge there. Woo-wee. I didn't, but it almost did. So, alrighty. Oh, then we're going to need to take this apart again. At least as much as we need this top one, because we're going to put this little thingy-mabob in here. That little thing. We're going to put it in here, scoot this down, put that in there, and clench it together. And now we have a little, just a little nubbin thing. Now I'm only putting it on the first one, not doing it on all of the others. Okay, we're done with that little thing. So we'll throw those little nubbins in the trash. Now, don't really need those. Put this back over here. And here are all of our little things we're going to use to make this little dangling thing. And here's another little dangle. Now, I made a whole bunch of these little dangles one day. And I just sat in there watching TV. I have lots and lots of beads and lots of, I used to do a lot of jewelry. And so I have lots of findings and all kinds of things. Look at that little head pin has a rhinestone in the end of it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's kind of got a little rhinestone in it. So I thought, how cute. So there we go. So I pulled that out of my bucket. I've got a little piece of chain. This little piece of chain is about 3 inches long, give or take. And then I have this itty bitty pin. It looks like a straight pin with a head on it. This is what they look like. I have no idea what those are, I don't know what those are used for, but I saw them one day and I thought, those are kind of cool. I'm sure I can find something to do with those. And so I bought a package of gold and a package of silver, and here we are. So there you go. So what I'm going to do is take this little pin and I am going to put it in one end of this chain. Very carefully. And thank goodness the little head is on there. It keeps it from coming off. So it'll dangle like that. So I'm going to take the other end and hopefully put it in the other end of this little chain. Yes, we are. It's a little bitty chain. So now we have a loop. There we go. We could have an earring if we wanted. But, all right. So then we had to figure out a way to close it. So I took my little handy dandy pliers here. And I turned this to make us a loop. I need a loop. The pin is very thin. It's pretty manipulable. I can't think of that word, but it's pretty easy to manipulate. You have to be careful. You might break it. But we're going to make a little loop, and down below these little, where these little things are, we're going to cross this over like such. Sometimes it's easier to do with your fingers. All I need is a little loop right there, but I need that loop to stay shut. So I'm going to wrap it around. That little ball on that little pin, and I'm going to bring it back around over here, trying not to lose my loop, and pull it back up and squeeze it together. Okay, so basically you made that little ring go around that the little head of that pin, and it makes it look like, it makes the little pin look a little bigger. And then we're going to take this and put it back through that loop that we made. This is the hard part, is trying to get this little bitty loop back in, that little bitty pin back into that little bitty loop without everything else coming off. I'm sorry that you can't see my hands better, but we've got it on there. And we're going to poke that through there, bring it down, and there we go. And then we can take this and fold it back this way just to close it off, just so that it doesn't move around. Okay, so there we go. Now we have a little loop. There we go. A little bitty loop. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little loop in there. Okay, so now we're going to take our head pin, or not a head pin, it's a bulb pin, and we are going to put our bulb pin through that little loop we just made, provided we can find it. There it is, right there. Okay, and we're going to just put that on there and close this off. Alrighty. Now we're going to open up our little chain, because our little chain is now a loop, like an earring would be. Like this. It's a little circle. I hope you can see that. Let me see if I can put it on a piece of white paper, and maybe that will show up a little better. We have our bulb pin and our little chain right here. And here is that little bitty ball on that little bitty pin. Okay? So now we have this, And we are going to, well, we're not going to put this on here yet. And I kind of screwed up a little bit. I'm jumping the gun a bit. So hang on. Because I've got to take one of these and, well, piddly crap. Now I've already got it all nice and in there and everything. And now I'm going to have to take it off. No, I'm not going to have to do that. Yes, I am going to have to do that. Let me think. How am I going to get this onto here? Because that's got to go through these. I didn't do it right, y'all. I got too excited about this little pin and this little, let me take, if I can see it, let me take this off and get another little pin and do it again. Simply because I forgot. Well, I could still do it. Let's see here. I can still do this and pull this off of here, off of that chain, because this little chain has got to go through these little nubbins, these little holes that I made, these little holes like this. It has to go in here. So we're going to put it through that one, and we're going to put it through these. Had a little fuzz in my mouth. Put it through there. Put it through there. That's the only hard part, having to put them all in here together. I mean, one at a time, because they move around. But it doesn't matter. You just want the hole in the same place. Now then we can put this little piece, other half of the chain, back on our little pin. I have to concentrate. Oh my goodness. Here we go again. Here we go again. All right, there's one. Yep, there you go. And 2, and 3. Good gracious. I didn't know this was going to be so difficult. Let's see if we can get those all 3 in there at one time. There we go. And put our back one on. One didn't make it. There we go. There we go. This is real life, folks. This is what happens when things don't work exactly like you plan. And very rarely do my plans work out exactly right. But there we go. We're going to put that little pin back through that little bitty. This chain is so tiny. But it was the only chain I had that would fit through the hole that my hole maker would make. All right, let's go in there. I think it's partially because the pin is bent and not wanting to go where I need it to go. So I don't quite know how to turn that to make it go in there straight. Maybe if I put this in here and put that in there, maybe that will work. I think it would have, but I think it popped out. And I tell you, this is crazy. I can't believe that. There we go. We got it. We got it. All right, now we're going to go back and we're going to twist it again. And we're going to make our little loop again. And it's going to go right around here and right back up here. We don't want to lose our loop because that's what that has to go through. And there we go. Now then, we'll put our bulb pin into our little loop that we made. Oh, my Lord and my Lord. Okay, there we go. We have it on a bulb pin. How's that? Now, we've got to take this little thing, and it has a little ring on the end of it, just called a jump ring. And we are going to open that jump ring just enough to get it in around that chain. So we're going to open it up, take the chain from the front, slide it in that jump ring, and close it back up. And because the chain is very, very thin, you want to make sure that this jump ring is closed very well. And you just kind of have to piddle with it a minute to make sure that the two ends go back together. And there we go. And we have a cute little pin that we can hang on a piece of ribbon or an edging in our book. Whoa, that was a hoot and a half, wasn't it? I am so sorry. You know, you can sit here all day long and make it, and it just turns out perfect, and everything's great and wonderful. And you turn that camera on, and everything just goes to pot. So, but we got it done, and there you go. Really simple. Yeah, really, the actual book part was pretty simple. And if anybody can think of a better way to do this that works better, please let me know, because I worked on it all afternoon trying to figure it out. But this seemed to work for me, at least for right now. So anyway, there we go. We have two. We have our dark one, we have our lighter one, and we're ready to go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with me, being patient. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. I need all the help I can get. And yeah, there you go. Check out my online store, www.mypinkdragonflywings, all one word, all little letters, with a Z on the end of wings.com, and I have it linked in the description box below. You can just click on that and it'll take you right to the store and see if there's anything in there you just can't live without. And until next time, I'll be here. You be creative too, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.